Coach Ben, bigbenchas.com. Today I wanted to go over a great stretch you can do in your warm-ups or just when you're going through your stretches, and that's a deep lunge, all right? It's actually a position, not really a stretch, but you can do different stretches in that position and work different range of motions. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to get down into this deep lunge position like so, put my knee on the ground, all right? And from here I can do a few different things. I can focus on working my ankle mobility, right? So I can just work on keeping the heel down as I kind of go forward. And there's some dorsiflexion here, like so. Just working on ankle mobility. Important thing is that you keep your heel down, right? Try and work a little deeper into it. Probably get a stretch in the back of the calf here. That's something you can do in this position. Another thing is kind of work that hip flexor stretch from right here. I can kind of bring my hip down to the ground. I can even come up out of it. Work that hip flexor stretch here. So that's another thing I can do. What I love this position for is getting some hip traction. Now, in this position is where I find I can get the best hip traction when I'm just doing self-stretching. Traction is very hard to get on your own. But in this position, I feel like I can accomplish that very well. And what I mean by tractioning is almost like create separation of the joint by pushing like the bone out of the joint, so to say. So I'm almost trying to push my femur out of the joint. That's creating traction in the hip capsule, which is very hard to do on your own. But like I said, I can feel really good when I work out of this position. So what I'm doing here is trying to push my knee out a little bit. This is my active range. I end about here. Now I'm going to get my arm positioned on the inside of my thigh, and I'm just going to straighten it out. Walk this hand over a little bit. You can play around with what you feel the best with. The position's is all based on you. So I brace my arm like this, straight arm, and kind of lean out, and I'm trying to push that femur right out of the socket almost. So I'm leaning out, straight arm, and I'm trying to pull it out and up. Trying to push that bone right out of the socket. And I can feel everything loosening up in my hip. I can feel tugging at my back. I can feel my groin opening up. It's a really good feeling. You definitely have to try that out. That's the big benefit of this deep lunge position that I get, is creating that hip traction right there. I feel I can get that the best in that position. How you can enhance this stretch here is with a band. So just attaching a band to anything is going to create banded distraction. So that's almost going to create the traction for you. All right, so I get it right around the groin right here, right around that joint. And then I can go through everything I was doing before, but this band is kind of pulling my leg for me, creating that traction. I can even go back into creating that traction again myself with the help of the band. You know, of course, with a stronger band, you're going to get a stronger pull. All right, and don't worry if you don't have a band, not a big deal. It's just something that enhances the stretch. It's good to have. You can get them on sites such as Elite FTS. They usually have band sales all the time. And then I also want to show you one of the ways I come out of that deep lunge position. Because the thing with stretching, you never really want to come out of the stretch the same way you went into it, because you're just recontracting the muscle. So you always want to come out of the stretch in a different way than you got into it. So from here, I've been experimenting with this. You know, I do everything I want to do. Work the ankle here, hip flexors. And then from here, I put my hands out here, and I just kind of roll out onto this leg. And I'm actually getting a stretch down my side now. I've been experimenting around with this. Just keep rolling out onto that leg. And that's just a good way to come out of it, get a little extra stretch. All right? That's pretty much everything you can do in a deep lunge position. Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com. Shoot me an email, and we'll be sure to get you. If you're not in the Long Island area, I can get you made a warm-up routine or some kind of stretching protocol designed for you. And also, if you're in the Long Island, New York area, we have FST available. And just shoot me an email. We can set up an appointment, and you can try out some fascial stretch therapy for yourself. All right? So shoot me an email. Coach Ben here. I'll see you next video.